Let each of us, in our own way, be grateful for the love that has been shown to each of us, the graduating seniors, and for the opportunities given to us to respond to that love and to share that love with others during these past 4 years. As we come to such a major stepping stone in the path of our lives, we give thanks for all the efforts that have been poured into our lives through our parents and teachers and the many people of this community who have done so much to encourage us and to enrich our educational environment. We are also grateful for the recognition and the honors that this district has received because of the dedication and service of students that here this evening. But we know that the real fruits of our labors will be revealed as we, young men and women, move on to accomplish the goals that have been set forth for us. So our offering this evening is this, that our lives will be touched in such a way that will enable us to reach our total potential, that we will seek wisdom and strength in all our endeavors, that our eyes will be focused so that we can receive every blessing that is in store for us, and that we will always be filled with a desire to serve others. Thank you. Please be seated.
Good afternoon, and welcome to the class of 2003 semester. First, on behalf of the class of 2003, I would like to thank the administration, teachers, and coaches who have contributed to our learning experience in the school, in the classrooms, and at practices, and who also shaped us into men and women. We thank our parents for all their time, effort, and patience as they have watched us grow. And I would personally like to thank the rest of the class of 2003 for a great 4 years and to congratulate you all on your accomplishments. For today, we celebrate the graduation of a class of firsts. This class was the first to walk 4 years in the newly renovated school. This class was the first to take the initiative to change prom, the first to develop their own student-crafted ethics code. Academically, this class was the first ranked school in the state according to the PSSA scoring. We have 17 National Merit finalists. We have 17 National Merit finalists and 17 commended students. We have also set the bar athletically, as we have been strong competitors at both the sectional, WIPIAL, and state level all year long. Today, not only great students and athletes, but great outstanding people will receive their diplomas and head off to bigger and better things, to skin up their knees and their noses out in the real world. So relax and enjoy the graduation of 2003.
All right, class of 2003. I should start off with what has almost become a necessary component of a graduation speech, thanking every possible person I have ever come in contact with. Luckily for everyone here, I'm not thinking too straight, so I'd like to start off by thanking my parents, who have put up with me the past 18 years and provided me with all the love and compassion I could ever need. I want to thank my grandparents for providing me undying support and all my friends and family. I'd also like to send a special shout out to the one who makes me smile. Now I'm going to clarify why I'm up here today. I'm not a fortune teller, and I have no clue what form of success or prosperity my future will hold, let alone everyone in the entire class. I'm up here because I think it's necessary to point out the potential each of you hold. In looking at my own future, I hold strong to Mrs. Muffley's lesson of character determines fate. You all have proven to possess strong, motivated characters because you have made it this far. I want to believe that the ultimate outcome of my life is based on my positive attitudes and actions, not on something completely out of my control. Everyone must realize that every step they take in life can change their fate, so walk conscientiously with respect for yourself and for others as well. God gave us two ends, one to sit on and one to think with. Success depends on which you use. Heads you win, tails you lose. Thank you, class of 2003.
Presidency, Franklin Roosevelt commented on determination. When you get to the end of your rope, tie a knot and hang on. Throughout the last 4 years, there were times I wanted to let go and stop trying to fulfill my own and everyone else's expectations. During each test of my will to succeed, I was able to find the determination to persist. Ultimately, my perseverance and that of my classmates has led us to this goal of graduation. Along the way, many people around me have become the knot that I have held on to. My family has always pushed me to give my best. In all my activities, my parents, brothers, and sister have been my biggest fans. My grandparents have shown me the true meaning of never giving up through all life's challenges. My teachers have spent countless hours helping me and inspiring me to learn more. And school administration has supported me when I needed it the most. I would also like to thank Dr. Kushner for his help, and especially Dr. Pope for all his hard work. Congratulations and best of luck in your retirement. And finally, my friends and classmates, you have encouraged me each day and have made the past 4 years so memorable. Each member of this class has the determination to succeed, as we have demonstrated academically, athletically, and artistically. We will leave a legacy that will be difficult to match. As we pursue our individual paths, we can all find the determination to hang on and succeed when we find ourselves at the end of the rope. Congratulations and best wishes, class of 2003.
Congratulations to each member of the class of 2003. In just a few moments, you will receive your high school diplomas, proof that you have achieved a major milestone in your lives. But is it the pinnacle? Some of us, including myself, have felt at some time that it is the pinnacle. Most of us are 18, are leaving home to attend college, and feel totally independent. But if just for a few moments, let's reminisce about our past 18 years when we, for instance, took that first baby step to begin walking. In our limited way, we felt free. But we quickly discovered that we were still quite dependent. Then we entered kindergarten and eventually transferred to middle school and finally the high school. Each step along the way, we felt we were grown up, only to discover that we were not. Then came the age of 16. Surely, this was it. It had to be. We got our driver's licenses. Wow, independence at last. But that too, in some ways, became a letdown. Each time we met our ideal grown-up milestone, we discovered we weren't quite there. We had more to accomplish and more to learn. We were still dependent upon our friends, teachers, mentors, and especially our families. Today, we move forward, but hopefully with a clear vision that we are never totally independent, but are ever growing. We are merely entering a stage of new growth. Remember, too, that this day is an important milestone for our families, especially our parents. They have devoted the last 18+ years to helping us grow in many ways. Regardless of their involvement over the next few years, they will always be there to guide us in good times and in bad. Also, a special thank you to all our teachers, the school board, and the administrators for their devotion to us. May each of us carry forth with us today not only our diplomas that signify our accomplishments in reading, writing, and arithmetic, but also of life itself. Before I conclude, I could not leave this podium without a special thanks to Dr. Pope, who will soon begin a milestone of his own, retirement. What a remarkable legacy you, Dr. Pope, have left Upper St. Clair. I hope that we, the class of 2003, your last graduating class, can live up to what you have offered us over the past 13 years of schooling. I would like to end with a quote from a car commercial that I think we should all remember as we enter the busy world. The commercial was for Nissans and involved a child who lost a baseball in a barn. When he went to recover it, he met an older gentleman who was a car collector, and he eventually helped the child find the ball. As the boy left, the man gave him these parting words: "Life is a journey. Enjoy the ride." I think we should all remember that even though we should strive to achieve our goals, sometimes it is nice to sit back and let life take its course so we do not get too carried away in the bustle of modern society. Thank you and good luck.
Okay, so after around 5,000 hours in high school, you, the class of 2003, have finally completed your last lesson, an exercise at graduation practice, and walking to the podium to have your name read and a card handed to you with a record of all your shots. It sounds kind of like a obedience school for pets, but such is life. So what have you learned? What will you remember about your high school experience now that it's done? In an attempt to deviate slightly from the regular valedictorian speech, I'll present you with a list of 10 thoughts that I had. Number 1, there should be a course entitled How to Write a Valediction that will not be repeated by 11 other people. Number 2, e to the I pi plus 1 equals 0. I'm not sure why that's relevant, but it's important enough to be on Dr. Saunders' calculus worksheet. Number 3, chemistry wash bottles and giant yellow bags of popcorn are now treated as contraband under school rules. So next time you find a need to squirt each other in chemistry class, use the pipettes and bring a giant metal bowl for your popcorn. Number 4, the pool is very cold at 5:30 in the morning in January. And hopefully that satisfies the request of a certain very insistent swimmer in the audience. Okay, and number 5, after 3.5 performances, I refuse to ever play The Devil Went Down to Georgia again. No matter how nicely anyone asks, if you don't know what I'm talking about, it's better that way. Okay, and number 6, I only have about 20 seconds left, so 7, 8, 9, and 10 have to be unrevealed. Okay. Those senior English teachers have hammered in the idea that a valediction is not for the purpose of thanking people. I still need to take a few seconds to do so. First of all, the teachers and the staff, including the English teachers, for giving us a place where we can build such a good foundation for our future and have a good deal of fun while doing so. My friends for all of their support, though their advice on speech writing when they didn't run away at first sight of the word speech ranged from downright disturbing to very helpful. And of course my family, my mom, my dad, my brother, and my uncle who made the trip all the way out here from California. Thank you. For all the support, their constant advice, encouragement, and occasional prodding. And without them, I would not be on this podium today, probably. Finally, to all students graduating today, you've reached a major turning point in your life. At the time when you begin to leave your relatively protected, comfortable life and take the first real steps towards independence. And since I could not find a more famous person to quote, I shall quote a student who wants to remain anonymous, who advises, "Your high school graduation is a major accomplishment. However, it's only a small achievement, the first of many to come. But for now, just enjoy this small step. Reflect upon and enjoy your first 18 years of achievements and memories, but always look forward, for you have the better part of a century left to go. Have fun, thank you, and I'll miss you all."
Good afternoon, graduating class of 2003, faculty and staff, parents, family, and friends. As many of you, my classmates, sit in your seats today, there's probably a mix of emotions circulating. Some of you are full of excitement, eager to graduate and leave high school. Others are probably thinking, I'm going to miss my friends and all the great times I've had over the past 4 years. For those of you who will miss high school, either a little bit or a lot, remember that even as we all head off in separate directions, we will always have the memories. We've spent the past 4 years creating and sharing many memorable moments, and now we're here together as classmates and as friends. Take comfort in knowing that not even time can dim the memories and experiences you have had at Upper St. Clair. The friendships, the laughter, the joys, the camaraderie, and the knowledge gained will always be with you. I know that all of you have the potential to achieve great success in life, no matter what path you choose. We face an incredible, unpredictable, and challenging journey. As cliche as it sounds, we really are embarking on a new chapter in our lives. Whether you choose to attend college, work, or other ventures, you all have the ability to go far in life. Grasp this opportunity and live your life to its fullest potential. Our teachers and parents
have helped mold us into the bright and confident individuals we now are. Henry David Thoreau once gave the insightful wisdom, if you have built castles in the air, your work need not be lost. That is where they should be. Now put the foundations under them. Dream big and know that you are all capable of accomplishing whatever you put your minds to. All of you have dreams and goals waiting to be achieved. Go and do whatever you need to do to attain them. Build the foundations necessary to reach your dream, and do not stop until you have reached the sky above your castle. I hope that you all live wonderful lives with no regrets. Congratulations and good luck to all of you. Upper St. Clair's graduating class of 2003 and all you do. Thank you.
Throughout my education, I have taken studying very seriously. I believe the phrase which best describes this situation first surfaced in middle school during homerooms at Fort Couch. I would engross myself so deeply in an assignment that as everyone else was going to their first class, some kids would shout at me, "Clinton, come up for air." Thank you to everyone who kept me sane and smiling, because there is no way I would have gotten through 4 years of high school without Mr. Olendyke's outstanding homeroom leadership, Mrs. Avik's infamous game of Constitution Bingo, Mr. Schlachter's love of the defenestration of Prague, or my personal favorite, lighting Dr. Fellini and Brian DeSalle as well as myself on fire. Sorry about that, Brian. Special thanks to Mom and Dad, who have done a superb job of raising me, and to my brother Graham, who has always been one of my greatest influences. I also extend my obligatory but truly heartfelt congratulations to the entire class of 2003. Thank you.
Just last week, I stopped being 18 years old for 2 hours and saw the new Disney movie, Finding Nemo. The story features a young father whose wife and unhatched eggs were eaten by another fish. The father finds one damaged egg remaining. This last egg would hatch into Nemo, an energetic fish who has a small fin on one side. The story about Nemo is a struggle between an overprotective father who travels across the ocean to find his captured son, and a lively kid who is trying to find friends and learn about new things in the vast ocean. While the title of the movie suggests a plot about the father's search for his son, it can equally represent Nemo's search for his inner strength and personality. After being sheltered all his life, Nemo is only beginning to discover what new things the ocean holds for him. As we graduate from high school, we are entering our own ocean of uncertainty. Many parents are uneasy to let us find our way in this world, but this is a step that no parent can stop. So as the senior class of 2003 enters the real world, it will be a struggle to survive. However, we can leave this building knowing that we will be prepared for the twists and turns that life throws at us. Although we may trip and fall, all of us will have the heart and determination to get up and keep working towards our goals. In many ways, we are like Nemo. We have been relatively sheltered for most of our lives and will soon realize that life outside of Upper St. Clair is different. The world is our source of both danger and knowledge. Only by braving the perils of this real world can we truly find happiness. Over the course of our high school lives, the United States has been faced with adversities from the 2000 presidential elections to the September 11th terrorist attacks. In each dilemma, the people of our country have shown great strength and resilience. We can expect that same strength and resilience in the graduating class of 2003 as we leave childhood behind and begin planning the rest of our lives. Thank you.
I recently read a book, The Sense of Beauty by Lydia Minatoya. In it, the narrator and her husband visit Tokyo's famed Meiji Park during iris viewing time. At each vista that was particularly fine, the narrator tells us, we encountered a dozen amateur artists. There they were, jammed together, framing the views to their fingers, tipping their heads to refresh their perspectives, and laboring over their palettes to produce tones with the truest hue. and creating canvases that looked all the same. Think of these artists, she says. Why were they doing this? They knew full well that they would never recapture Monet's garden, nor would they ever even be singled out for their success. But what is the measure of success? Is it to be only the best? Is it to be recognized for a singular talent or genius? Yet there the artists were, eager for another try, undaunted. Because, as the narrator tells us, it is the blessings in life, not in self, that they mean to express, and therein lies their success. And in our learning in USC, what has been the measure of our success? It can't be just the grades, because how can you measure the growth of spirit and mind with grades? We have learned so much more here. We've learned to think, to question, to be curious, to arrive at our own truths. We know how to stand up for our values and defend our ideas. We've been taught to have the courage to take risks. We've learned to be ourselves. I've seen my classmates learn to reach out to each other and to give freely of themselves to people in the community and to react with anger against injustice. I've seen them learn to appreciate the accomplishments and the generosity of others. Grades can't be the measure of these things. And how can grades measure what I've learned about kindness from teachers who have been kind to me? And how can grades measure what I've learned about empathy and about character from fellow students who have acted with great generosity of heart on my behalf? These are the blessings in life, and this is what we have learned to celebrate. And to the extent that we can do this and do this, then that must be the measure of our success. Thank you.
Now, apparently Roger and I must have been on the same wavelength, because one of the things I learned these 4 years of high school was how to create a good outline. So I created an outline of 10 points as well, as Roger did, and I'd like you to consider all of them. Number 10, don't sleep during these 30-odd some valedictorian speeches. While I can understand your agony, I believe it was probably more painful to try to fit 4 years of my life into about 2 minutes of a speech than have to sit and listen to them. However, on to the more important things. Make sure you take many pictures, so when people at college ask you about your high school experience, you could show them your graduation pictures, proceed to give them an entire rundown of how things were done, including about the mod system, brag about how cool you were, how many friends you had, and then revel in your newfound freedom. Make sure to take care to greet all your relatives as they come in, because you're never too sure who hasn't given you money yet for your graduation. And you want to make sure you have plenty of money to waste. But actually, on second thought, go ahead and sleep, because many out there will be driving on senior trip tonight, and a well-rested driver is always the best kind of driver. If you're not heading out on senior trip, just take into account of the fact that teenagers are the most sleep-deprived individuals, so go ahead and do a little catching up. Now make sure you hug your parents and praise them for all they've done well these past 4 years. Do this for 2 reasons. One, so they'll feel more secure when they send you out into the world because they've made you an upstanding citizen. 2, they'll know your deep sense of gratitude and will be more willing to send you money for food or possibly bail. Now try not to cry. When one person starts to cry, everybody will start to cry. Then I'm going to start to cry, and then my speech will end up being longer than 2 minutes, and I don't want to create any problems. Make sure you thank all your teachers, as they've been invaluable in your learning experience. They've helped shape you into the person you are, and now your parents know who to blame. Now make sure you receive your empty diploma case proudly when you walk across the field today. Then, when you're back in the gym, realize just how much you have truly accomplished. Now more seriously, make sure you recognize your own mortality. Our candles only burn for a brief time, and not everybody has the blessing of passing gently away into old age. As seen through these past 4 years, time moves quickly. And as hard it is to have regrets now, I cannot fathom how painful it would be to wake up in 40 or 50 years and realize I never gave my all to anything. And lastly, forget about pretty much anything else I said. Go ahead and cry, relax, do whatever you want. You deserve it. It's been the best 4 years of my life, seniors, and probably of yours as well. Rejoice with your friends, bond with your family. Thank your teachers for the great job they've done. Prepare for your journey to become the best doctor, lawyer, or even Little League coach out there. Make an imprint in other people's lives. Move mountains. Use the education you gain here and onwards for something great. I congratulate you, class of 2003, and best wishes in everything you do, because I'm confident, much like Dr. Seuss, that today is your day, your mountain is waiting, so get on your way.
friends, teachers, and administrators. For those of you who don't already know, my name is Peter Song, the 10th of 12 valedictorians who will be speaking to you today. So at this point, I'd like to congratulate you. You're almost done. Oh, by the way, in case you didn't know any of this information, it's in that white piece of paper that you received at the entrance. No, that's not a fan, that's actually the program. Trust me, I know what it's like to be sitting where you are. I also have two older siblings who previously graduated, so I'll try to keep this short and sweet. To start, I'd like to thank those people who helped me get to where I am today. First and most importantly, I would like to thank my parents who have constantly encouraged and pushed me to live up to my potential. Thank you for all the love and support you have showered me with throughout my life. And also, thank you for your patience. I know I can be a real pain in the butt sometimes. As a teenager, I know I don't tell you this enough, and I can't believe I'm going to say it here, but here goes nothing. I love you, Mom and Dad. Thank you for everything. I truly do appreciate everything you have done for me. Yeah, I hope that makes up for the past 18 years. To my sister, well, what can I say? Without you, I wouldn't be up here today. Thank you for always steering me in the right direction, and also for the countless number of hours you spent helping me proofread my papers. Don't worry, I'll repay you one of these days. To my brother, Stephen, thank you for being such an outstanding role model and also a great friend. Thanks for also introducing me to new activities and making me feel like more than just a brother. To Nathan, thank you for always brightening up my weekends during your visits home and keeping me sane while I applied to colleges in the fall. And finally, last but certainly not least, to my friends, thank you for all the countless memories we shared together, both good and bad. You guys always made time fly by, and I know I wouldn't be up here without all of you. Okay, now that all that mushy stuff's out of the way, it's time to be in the edifying portion that has become an integral part of every valedictory speech. In hopes of avoiding the usual cliches, such as the doors of opportunities opening in front of our eyes or the start of a new chapter in our lives, I have created my own, mostly pointless, tidbits of advice that I will be offering to the graduating class of 2003. So listen up, Panthers. Here we go. Number 1, never dwell on past failures or accomplishments. Learn from the mistakes you made in the past, but don't agonize over these blunders. At the same time, don't lean on successes of the past. Try to repeat these accomplishments in the future rather than live your life recollecting these past achievements. Remember, you can't live in the past, no matter how good or bad it was. Second, avoid the easy way out. There's really no valid argument for cheating your way through life, so why live this way? Take the path you know you should be taking, and try your best to do well. Although you may not succeed, remember, no one is perfect, but at least you can say you didn't opt for the easy way out. And last, my last morsel of edification is to seize the day. Don't hold back and say you'll do it next time or the time after that. Seize every opportunity that is presented to you as if there may not be a next time. Always live life to the fullest and enjoy every moment as best you can. I know I've enjoyed my time speaking to you today, and hopefully I haven't put you all to sleep during these past couple of minutes. Oh, by the way, Mom and Dad, you're now 3 for 3, so congrats. And Steve, thanks for all the pressure over the past 3 years. It's been delightful. On that note, I'll probably pull myself away from the podium. So to all of you wearing the square hats, congratulations, class of 2003, and best of luck in the future. Thank you.
When I entered high school, I knew that to succeed, I needed to learn as much as possible. At that time, I had not expected to be speaking to you today as a valedictorian. Standing at this podium is a testament to not only my diligence and perseverance throughout high school, but also my family, friends, and those teachers and administrators who supported me and enabled me to succeed. I'd particularly like to thank my parents, who have always encouraged me and who selflessly moved cross-country for me to obtain an excellent high school education in Upper St. Clair. I appreciate my brother Brian's admiration, which has bolstered all of my efforts. My grandparents have always been supportive and have come all the way from Cleveland to share in this wonderful day. I greatly appreciate all of my friends who have lauded my efforts since I moved here after my freshman year. I would also especially like to thank those teachers who expanded my horizons, who challenged me, and who maintained the belief that I could succeed. Each graduate who stands here today also has people to thank. We should not forget how we arrived here. We might have succeeded alone, but without the support and encouragement of others, we would not have attained such pride from our achievements. As many of us embark on new challenges, we'll continue to rely on those people who care about us. When I attend Carnegie Mellon University this fall, I know that I will still seek guidance from those teachers who supported me and my parents who believed in me. As each of us finds our particular niche in tomorrow's society, we cannot afford to ignore these important people and lessons from our past. Every one of us has earned the right to graduate today. We have industriously written research papers and completed group projects, knowing that the satisfaction wrought from completing high school far outweighs the writer's cramp from each night's worth of homework. We should commend each other on a job well done, but we should also bear in mind the importance of what lies ahead of us. We have acquired the skills and knowledge to succeed, and we now have an obligation to give something back to the people and community that have supported us. As accomplished graduates of Upper St. Clair High School, we must use our diverse gifts and talents to improve our world, in addition to bettering ourselves. Congratulations, fellow graduates. Carpe diem.
Today, for most of us, will be a day of mixed emotion. At this point in the ceremony, we've heard our classmates and administrators speak eloquently about the pride, the anguish, the hope that this occasion evokes in each of us. We should therefore spare a few moments now to reflect on the importance of these feelings and ask ourselves why. Why, in the triumph of this new beginning, must we feel twinges of regret at leaving the company of our friends and families? And why, even in that bittersweet emotion, do we find traces of excitement at the chance to explore new relationships? We experience these sensations because they are the voices of honesty in our lives. If we listen to them, we will learn to appreciate the value of each day. They will allow us to find the courage to never leave an opportunity or idea untested. They will also remind us of the simple but profound joy of waking up each morning to face a world that we can improve through our own efforts. Consequently, we should remember that during the trials and celebrations of the future, nothing is more important than feeling each moment in all of its significance. Nothing is more important than being there and being truly alive like we are here today. With those observations made, I would like to thank my mom and my dad and all of my brothers and sisters for all that they've done to support me over the past 18 years. You all already know that I love you, and you should already know that your love means infinitely more to me than any measure of material success that I will ever attain. I would also like to thank my friends for never failing to encourage me in all of my endeavors, and for lending me their time and attention when I faltered. The times we've shared will remain with me forever as reverences to some of the best days of my life. Finally, to the class of 2003, thank you for all the incredible memories, and enjoy the next 4 years. I know I will.
Dr. Pope, Dr. Trombetta, Board of School Directors, parents, teachers, friends, and members of the class of 2003. Welcome to the annual Upper St. Clair High School commencement ceremony. Dr. Pope, I feel it is very appropriate that this is the last graduating class during your tenure as superintendent of the Upper St. Clair School District. The achievements of these students clearly reflect the high quality of leadership and dedication you have provided for our school and community. As you have heard from several of the previous graduates, the class of 2003 has been recognized with a wide variety of awards, honors, and distinctions. Among other accomplishments, this class represents 17 National Merit finalists, as Eric mentioned, also 17 commended students. That's 34 students, approximately 10% of this graduating class recognized by national merit. It's truly a remarkable statistic. 12 valedictorians, 4 superintendent's award winners with a perfect 4.0 average. Eastern Division Honors Orchestra recognition, 3 WPIL championships, 10 section championships. Out of 501 school districts in the state of Pennsylvania, this class finished no lower than second. That's first in math, first in writing, second in reading on the Pennsylvania system of school assessment tests. Another amazing accomplishment. At least 3 students from the class are attending each of these prestigious institutions. Most schools are happy to at least get 1 student into these schools. Cal Berkeley, CMU, Dartmouth, Duke, Harvard, University of Virginia, Yale. There may be uncertainty with respect to our economy, foreign affairs, domestic issues, etc. There's no question, however, that this class possesses the talent, skill, and ability to achieve not only personal success, but also to provide our country with critical visionary leadership. This is a special class. Dr. Pope, as principal of Upper St. Clair High School, I do hereby certify that the students gathered before us have met the requirements for graduation as mandated by the Commonwealth of Pennsylvania and the Upper St. Clair Board of School Directors. Dr. Pope, it is with great pleasure that I present to you the Upper St. Clair High School class of 2003.
I wanted to thank my parents and grandparents, because I forgot 40 years ago to do that at my high school graduation. This will be a special speech for me today. It will be a little more difficult because it is the last one I will deliver as superintendent. As Mr. Rogers would say, it's a beautiful day in the neighborhood. Well, the neighborhood looks a little different today in 2003 than it did when I gave my first commencement speech in 1990. The school is beautiful and new today. When I delivered that first commencement speech to the class of 1990, the high school was a sick shade of turquoise. It matched the color of the appliances in your grandmother's house in 1950. Well, this is the 41st graduating class from Upper St. Clair High School. It seems appropriate that we are both graduating at the same time. You've reached a transition point that all high school graduates relish. This is the day you get your diploma and begin your life after high school. But as special as this time is for you, it is equally special for me. This is my last year before retirement, so all of us will be making a transition together. You will be transitioning to college or the world of work or someplace else, as you've been planning the last 12 years. I, on the other hand, will be transitioning also. This will be the biggest transition of my life, and I am not embarrassed to say I am scared to death. Like you, I am standing on the edge of strange territory. So much of who we are and what we are is defined by Upper St. Clair. Like you, I would like to move on, but I have so many memories that I don't want to forget, and so many experiences that helped me become a better superintendent. Everything for both of us has been predictable, but what's next? That is the question everyone will ask, and one I am still struggling to answer. 2 weeks ago on this very field, I received the best retirement gift possible. When I came around the corner of the building back there, I saw 4,200 kids sitting in the stands. I was overcome with emotion and can't remember what happened after that. I know now that whatever I decide to do next year, or the year after that, or the year after that, it will have to involve children. The feeling on that day can never be duplicated, but the memory of seeing all of our students and hearing each school say or sing something special was priceless. The high school Chanticleers were one of those music groups that day in the stadium. Their song, For Just a Little While, describes in a beautiful way how truly special these years at Upper St. Clair have been. Yes, for just a little while, we share a dream. You, the members of the class of 2003, are part of that dream, and I am so proud to stand here as your superintendent today. Let me share something from a little book Mr. Fox bought for me. The title of the book is What Now? It couldn't be more appropriate. The title of this little story I'm going to share is What Makes a Friend? In kindergarten, your idea of a good friend was the person who let you have the red crayon when all that was left was the ugly black one. In fourth grade, your idea of a good friend was the person who was willing to switch square dancing partners so you wouldn't have to be stuck do-si-doing with Nasty Nikki or Smelly Susan. In fifth grade, your idea of a good friend was the person who went up to Nick or Susan, your new crush, and asked them to dance with you so that if they said no, you wouldn't have to be embarrassed. In seventh grade, your idea of a good friend was the person who let you copy the social studies homework that you had forgotten to do. In ninth grade, your idea of a good friend was the person who went with you to that cool party thrown by a senior so you wouldn't wind up being the only freshman there. In 10th grade, your idea of a good friend was the person who helped you clean up the bottles from the party, helped you sneak out of the house when you just couldn't deal with your parents anymore, assured you now that you and Nick or you and Susan were back together, you could make it through anything, helped you pick up for college, and just silently hugged you as you looked through your blurry eyes at the 18 years of memories you were leaving behind. And finally, on those last days of childhood, went out there the same way and sent you off with a hug, a lot of memories, reassurance that you would make it in college as well, had these past 8 years, and most important, sent you off to college knowing you were loved. Now your idea of a good friend is still the person who gives you the better of the two choices, holds your hand when you're scared, helps you fight off those who try to take advantage of you, thinks of you at times when you are not there, reminds you of what you have forgotten, helps you put the past behind you, but understands when you need to hold on a little longer. Stays with you, helps you clear up your mistakes, helps you deal with pressure from others, smiles for you even when he's sad, helps you become a better person, and most important, loves you. That author is unknown, but I wish I would have said it first. The journey that begins today, you could only dream about yesterday. Believe in your dream. Within those personal dreams lies the truth of who you are, what you believe, and the values that are most important to you. There is power in those dreams. They describe the life the way it should be. As you sit here today at commencement, I am reminded of the words of a professor from Clark University who said a long time ago, at commencement, you wear those square-shaped mortarboards. My hope is that from time to time, you will let your minds be bold and wear sombreros. Today is that day, and I'm proud to be transitioning out with you. Have a wonderful year, the class of 2003. Thank you for allowing me to participate in your graduation. Dr. Trombetta, I present to you the soon-to-be graduating class of 2003.
Thank you, Dr. Pope. You know, Eric and Peter, you were reminding me that I'm looking through this list of speakers for the day, and I'm at the end, and you guys are probably saying you've got to do this quickly because we want those empty folders and we want to go on with our lives. But please bear with me a few minutes.
Dr. Pope, Dr. Kushner, fellow board members, members of the administration and teaching staff, parents, family members, and guests, and members of the class of 2003. What a beautiful day for commencement, and what a stellar class of graduates, as we've heard, perhaps unequaled in the young and emerging history of our school system. You have been well prepared academically by this outstanding teaching and administrative staff. From what I can see, you also have been well prepared for the challenges of your lives by your outstanding parents and families. Graduates, do you agree? Today, I would like to briefly speak about your educational experience, but in a non-traditional sense. I would prefer to speak about the lifelong educational process that defines us as human beings, the development of moral character. Perhaps no process in our lifelong educational experience is as important as the process of learning by example. In the founding days of our republic, leaders such as Benjamin Franklin, who many considered our wisest American, Thomas Jefferson, who many considered our greatest visionary, and George Washington, the father of our country, who many, including myself, consider our greatest American, set early examples of unparalleled leadership and character. Let me quote to you from Thomas Jefferson to briefly illustrate the character of Washington. This is from a letter written to Dr. Walter Jones 15 years after the death of George Washington. His mind was great and powerful, his penetration strong. He was incapable of fear, meeting dangers with the calmest unconcern. His integrity was most pure, his justice the most inflexible I have ever known. He was indeed, in every sense of the words, a wise, good, and great man. Jefferson has accurately described the attributes that define Washington as a great man: integrity, justice, and courage. To express this more succinctly, moral character. These are not qualities that develop through traditional book study. Rather, they are characteristics that develop through observation and practical application of example. Let me call to mind more contemporary examples of character, and at the risk of embarrassing the following people, I would submit to you Dr. William Pope, whose example of courage, true grit, and student-centered focus will never be lost from your thoughts. Dr. Terence Kushner, whose example of inexhaustible energy, integrity, and dedication to his profession will remain always as part of your being. Dr. Catherine Luke, whose example of intellectual brilliance and sense of decency will remain as a lifelong lesson to you. And your parents, whose unending love, self-sacrifice, and courage have become part of your makeup, perhaps more than you may now realize. In fact, it is my sincere belief that we learn from each individual person with whom we interact. Therefore, as a final example, please allow me to speak about someone who set a standard from abroad. Mother Teresa of Calcutta was born to an Albanian family that lived in a community in many ways similar to Upper St. Clair. She could have continued in her comfortable lifestyle, however, she willingly and dutifully chose to serve God and man. She chose a humble life of servitude, ministering to the poorest of the poor. Mother Teresa set a great example through her indefatigable dedication to serve those of us who were abandoned by many. She was able to accomplish great things, one life at a time, because she valued the lives of all people, the poor, the lepers, the dying, the hopeless of the hopeless. How could this giant of humanity, diminutive in size though she was, continue on with such fervor? Because she believed that we are all reflections of providence. And if I may paraphrase her words, she said, "You should see the face of God in everyone. You should see the face of God in everyone." Simple words from a simple yet coincidentally very complex human being. Graduates and guests, school board and staff, if we remember these words all our lives, we cannot help but dramatically enhance our world as Mother Teresa did, one human being at a time. If we follow the examples of these great societal leaders, we can treat each other with nothing less than love, respect, and justice, qualities so desperately needed in these times. And with these thoughts in mind, can there be any doubt that our future will be far brighter? These are examples of greatness, from near and far, historic and contemporary. These are examples of vision, courage, dedication, devotion, truth, and love. Graduates of the Upper St. Clair class of 2003, we send you out into the world, as fragile as it is, as the culmination of our hopes and dreams. Continue always your search for truth and justice, and be tireless in this effort. Your parents sit as witness today, having been your greatest examples of total and pure love. As our future leaders, we know that you will succeed in this most important quest. You have been well prepared. Thank you.
Eric Von Scheller, valedictorian, senior class president.
Michelle Heather Ross, senior class treasurer.
Kunal J. Rambia, valedictorian, senior class vice president.
Kelly Ann McWinney, senior class secretary.
Jessica Lynn Beckman, valedictorian.
Taryn Elizabeth Berg, student council president.
Nicholas William Carosella Jr., valedictorian.
Jennifer Elaine Burke, valedictorian.
Shalini Darshna Dave, valedictorian.
Roger C. Chang, valedictorian.
Daniel Stewart Weller, valedictorian.
Thomas Clinton Ford, valedictorian.
Caroline Baudon, International Baccalaureate Diploma candidate.
Carl Joseph Rubin, valedictorian.
Sarah Allen Mullenberg, International Baccalaureate Diploma candidate.
Peter Elin Song, valedictorian.
Yin Yin Wong, International Baccalaureate Diploma candidate.
Louis Samuel Williams, valedictorian.
Wait, Danny, please wait. Matthew Joseph Alo.
Jamie Lynn Lewis.
Joseph Michael Abdallah.
Angela Lynn Liebert.
Danielle Albert.
Zing Yu.
Amber Louise Alessi, Independence Academic Achievement Award recipient.
Marissa Ann Lorenzi.
Jamie Aaron Allenbaugh.
Joe Luddington.
Michael Joseph Altapedi.
Kurt Luther.
Monica Kamiko Appleby.
Elise Rose Lyons.
Bradley Douglas Archie.
Lee Ann Lyons.
David Paul Ashley.
Caroline Christine McDonald.
Andrew J. Atman.
Kevin Anthony Madden.
Brian C. Austin.
Eric Edward Miyaka.
Daria Nicole Baker.
Emily Allison Main.
Catherine Lee Barretts.
Matthew R. Major.
Nicole Marie Barley.
Maureen Ruth Mann.
Laura Beth Bernard.
Catherine Marie Manning.
Kevin Michael Bartlett.
Catherine Lynn Manzetti.
Allison Francis Bates.
James Blake Marshall III.
Richard E. Beardsley Jr.
Nicholas Joseph Martin.
Ashley Ray Beck.
William Maria Martinez Berete.
Lloyd E. Becker.
Laura Macy.
Jade Iris Bailing.
Miriam V. Mayer.
Courtney Maria Benedetti.
Brian Thomas Mazer.
Tracy Elizabeth Betchart.
Karen Jill McClitty, Student Council Executive Officer.
Molly Rebecca Bonato.
Ryan David McCormick, Student Council Executive Officer.
Lindsay Rebecca Blazik.
Tara Justine McDougall.
Mark Anthony Bocchini.
James McFadden.
Megan Elizabeth Bodie.
Sean Patrick McGinnis.
Joanne Borlajanis.
Kelly Ann McGroarty.
Andrew
Brian Paul McMinn.
Julie Marie Breen.
Tara J. McNary.
Daniel David Broadland.
Megan Lee McQuillan.
Melinda Nicole Brown.
Jeffrey Dale Mindress.
Jennifer Ariel Buckholz.
Megan Rose Myers.
Kristen Maureen Calabrese.
Anthony D. Messina.
Catherine Jean Campbell.
Katie Marie McCullough.
Ben Camper.
Chelsea Megan Miller.
Michael S. Carnaggio.
Michael Gary Minor.
Michael Vincent Caruso.
Allison Nicole Moffett.
Alicia Ann Chebatoris.
Jason Michael Monty.
Kyle Robert Christie.
Joshua David Monty.
Jennifer Lynn Ciancio.
Ryan Paul Morgan.
Mark James Cimaroli.
Rachel Lynn Moses.
Mary Jane Elizabeth Clark.
Michael C. Mahler Jr.
Matthew Lewis Calusi.
Matthew Timothy Muffley.
Dylan Richard Conrad.
Ryan J. Murray.
Danielle Nicole Christ.
Lauren Elizabeth Myers.
John Brooks Criswell.
Diana Marie Mislowick.
Tracy Nicole Cullens.
Donna Omar Nabas.
Keith David Saigan.
Manoj Nair.
Lance William Silk.
Jordan Nicholas Nicholas.
Zachary Francis Cyphers.
Christine Gail O'Hara.
Nicole Kristen Damage.
Nicholas John Olds.
Julie Samantha Davis.
William Bernard O'Toole III.
Chloe Marie DeSosa.
Matthew Pagano.
Eric S. DeVore.
Amy Rebecca Palmer.
Joanna Jen DeBartolo.
Mark Anthony Palmieri.
Brian Joseph DeLeo.
Zachary Robert Pasquarelli.
Marcel Renee Dallaire.
Michelle Elizabeth Perry.
Nathan Lewis Dell.
Kristen Irene Petrini.
Stephen Mark Delvito.
Lauren Elizabeth Petty.
Melissa Marie DeMarco.
Celeste Maya Peterson, Student Council Executive Officer.
Thomas Brian DeMillion.
Laura Nicole Pfefferly.
Alexis Deep.
Jamie Lynn Pearson.
Benjamin Patrick Desmond.
Samuel Marion Pickney IV.
Aditi Dewan.
Stephen J. Petrowski.
Brenton Douglas Dilly.
Vanessa Lynn Paquera.
Brian Francis DeSalle.
Jeremiah Rocky Pisano.
Jessica Lynn DeSanti.
Jacob John Plahavensock.
Dan Bao Dunn.
William Carl Radke, Student Council Vice President.
Katie Lauren Droz.
Julie Ann Rare.
Daniel R. Duda.
Megan Claire Reckles.
Amy Lee Durgan.
Julie Beth Rechtenwald.
Eric A. Eckerd.
Stephen James Reed.
Owen Thomas Evans.
Samantha Lauren Reeford.
John Edward Fector.
Dylan Paul Reese.
Meredith Marie Feeney.
Andrew William Reed.
Lauren Ashley Fell.
Michael W. Ritchie.
Craig Joseph Feldmeyer.
Sarah Elise Rorty.
Christy Ann Farah.
Brady Sterling Robinson.
Brian Daniel Ferguson.
Megan Carolyn Roach.
Lauren Elise Ferguson.
Thomas Kevin Roach.
Albert Edward Ferreira III.
Matthew Nicholas Harvey Roma.
Julia Beth Fender.
Catherine Elizabeth Rossner.
Matthew Patrick Findle.
Tara Quinn Rubino.
Brandy Lynn Flaherty.
Sarah Lynn Rump.
Casey Jean Fogel.
Jacqueline Mary Rutkowski.
Matthew Crawford Frame.
Megan L. Rutledge.
Neil Joseph Frederick.
John Thomas Sable.
Deborah Michelle Fry.
Lauren Brett Sable, Superintendent's Academic Achievement Award recipient.
Kristen Jean Fullerton.
Kimberly Noel Sequoia.
Mark Dolan Gabbard.
Diane Salazar.
Dina Nicole Gailey.
Katie Lynn Simolovich.
Matthew Stephen Garofalo.
Haley Beth Sampy.
Elizabeth Blandy Gatta.
Dean Nicholas Sappas.
Stephen Alfred Gerwell.
Jocelyn Leah Schmidt.
That's right, Archie.
Anthony Thomas Gianni.
Thomas Michael Schneider.
Hold on.
Ryan Christopher Schneiders.
Noreen Michelle Giga.
Nicole Elise Siciani.
Jacqueline Diane Gilbert.
Julia Kendrick Syersdale.
Molly Elizabeth Gilson.
Elizabeth Jones Sakala.
Lindsay Harford Glade.
James Scott Sens Jr.
Slow down just a little bit. Slow down. Claire Lee Graff.
Andrew Michael Surdy.
Daniel Adam Green.
Darcy Lee Schaffner.
Matthew Ryan Greenwell.
Patrick Timothy Shanahan.
Michael Lawrence Greer.
Stephanie Elizabeth Shepard.
Louis A. Garino III.
Benjamin C. Simpson.
Vineet N. Gumpali.
Sean Thomas Sight.
Sarah Elizabeth Guthrie.
John Michael Sarabella.
Jeffrey Haas.
Valerie C. Sloan.
Chelsea Christina Haynes.
Carly Michelle Smiga.
Lucy Nicole Harris.
Megan Angela Smith.
Ashley Noel Hartman.
Christine Ann Snyder.
Neil Vidyat Hathi.
William Thomas Spence Jr.
Christopher J. Hauge.
Heather Ann Spries.
Jennifer Lynn Hauge.
Jenny Lynn Stamfeld.
Jordan James Hawk.
Jennifer Lee Steinberger.
Rebecca Lynn Hayes.
Catherine Ann Stevens.
Joseph Ryan Heckel.
Jamie Ray Stifler.
Gregory George Hadeas.
Brian Robert Stout.
Terrence P. Heffernan.
Ryan Coleman Sullivan.
Caroline Cochran Hess.
Katie Ann Surma, Student Council Executive Officer.
Stephen Graham Hlavik.
Chuck Del Soteria.
Lindsay K. Hoffman.
Lisa Marie Swaney.
Christina Gina Hopkins.
Catherine Jennifer Swan.
Kelly Ann Huff.
Anna Helene Taffel.
David Brian Hughes III.
Matan Michael Tall.
Todd Charles Herson.
Margaret M. Tallarico.
Christy Elizabeth Heisman.
Kayla Rose Tawoda.
Naoko Ihara.
Brian Taylor Tokolby.
Maria Julie Iraqi.
Chad Alexander Thompson.
Justin Joseph Jackson.
Melissa L. Toth.
Abba Jane.
Jonathan E. Trick.
Roxanne Ray James.
Esther Sophia Singh.
Karen Elizabeth Johnson.
Nicholas Vincent Tupy.
Bethany Lynn Jones.
Kate Elizabeth Turkley.
Catherine Elizabeth Jones.
Gopi Yukani.
David John Paul Jordan.
Drew Timothy Underwood.
Shelby Lynn Joseph.
Antoinette Vieira.
Robert Allen Julius.
Robert John Vighetti.
Bradley Scott Cavo.
Julia Ann Villanova.
Kira Kaler, Superintendent, Academic Achievement Reward recipient.
Sean Patrick Wall.
Caroline Loretta Kelly.
Rachel Marietta Ward.
Shauna Catherine King.
Ashish V. Worty.
Fanny Marie Kiplin.
Andrew C. Weaver.
Kevin Michael Kirkpatrick.
Mary Kathleen Wayner.
Leslie Ann Klein.
Michaeline Elise Weimer.
Louis Alexander Close.
Christina Karen Welling.
Rachel Anastasia Kowalczyk.
Kelly Marie Wheeler.
Joseph Michael Kozak.
Caitlin Fitzgerald Whitaker.
David Thomas Cherub.
Monica Rose White.
Anne Marie Krensloff.
Ryan David White.
Matthew Benjamin Kroner.
Lauren Marie Wilcher.
Lauren Elizabeth Kropp.
Elizabeth Ann Williams.
Mark Robert Kubera.
Ashley Delta Willoughby.
Jennifer Lynn Kajava.
Jessica Ann Wilson.
Richard Milling Kyle.
Jocelyn Wotan.
Scott Andrew Lane.
Megan Elizabeth Wolfley.
Connor Michael Lee.
Christopher Dilliston Woodford.
Chelsea Ann Lennon.
Mark Hoffman Worthy.
Rachel Nicole Lentz.
Adam K. Wright.
Eric Joshua Levy.
Courtney Lynn Wright.
D. Grant Lewis.
Julie Marie Young. Michael Robert Zawacki.
Jennifer Lynn Zeiler. I'll get it.
Oh, they missed pictures. They didn't get their picture taken with Bill.
That's all right. We did fine. We were hiking Laurel Highlands. Seriously, I was leaving Union for about an hour and a half before graduation.
We did fine. Picture thing. Okay. Go ahead. Wait.
Ladies and gentlemen, I present to you the graduated class of 2003. Graduating smooth through the tassels.
You look so cute!